This overload.
Welcome to Technically Speaking, the show for the technically challenged. Today we're going to be having fun with our computers, making party invitations. Well, I needed a little help today, so I called upon a friend, a graphic designer. Please welcome my special guest, Daina Catanese. Nice to have you here, Daina.
Nice to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm an undergrad student at University of New Haven. I'm going to be a senior. I play lacrosse, which is great. And I live in Franklin Square, so I go away to school. And that's really it.
Okay, and I've had the pleasure of having you as an intern in my office all summer, which has been great.
It's been great.
So if I'm learning how to make invitations, we don't just make invitations. We have to get an actual graphic designer here. But is this stuff that we can all do with our computer at home?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I hear a lot of people say, oh, you know, I'm sending this out to be made and created by somebody else, and you end up spending $200, $250 a piece.
We don't want to spend that.
We don't want to spend that. That's just how it goes. You don't want to spend that. And honestly, if it's a kid's birthday, if it's a save the date, or you can make it at home. If it's anything that you can do for your kids, it's just a small party in your yard, you can make your invitations right here.
Now, can we even make, I don't know, weddings and showers and such?
Weddings and showers, anything you want to make, and it's a way cheaper cost than you would spend mailing it out anywhere else.
And all we're going to use is a computer, a printer, and we've got some little gizmos over there. Well, Daina and I made some samples beforehand just to see what we're going to try out. So here's a couple of fun folds. You were really into the fun folds. Here's one that we made that it opens up.
It's a Z fold.
Oh, a Z fold.
Yep.
Oh, now I
When
get
it's
it.
folded up, there's a Z.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I think that's adorable. You know, it's got something on the outside and the inside. I think people would be like, wow.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really hard. We
Yeah.
made that one in about 5 minutes. We made this one as a, what was this? Oh, save the date.
Right.
What was the name of this kind of a fold?
I think it's just a door fold.
A door fold, okay. And just like the other one, we used all different types of paper.
Right.
And little pictures. So if we were doing a save the date card, we used pictures of this couple getting married. And you mentioned that sometimes they have a sticker.
Right, just to keep it closed.
We didn't want to put the sticker because then I'd never be able to open it on television.
And honestly, once it's open, it's opened. You know what I mean? So when you mail it out, if you rip it off to open it, it's open.
Okay.
You know, so you wouldn't want to reseal and open again, you know, just because.
So we didn't put the sticker on it now, but that's very, very cute. And this was very easy. Boy, would people be impressed if they got that. And the one we're going to be making, I don't know, was this an envelope?
Yes, that was an envelope fold.
An envelope fold that we did for this one. We did for a first birthday party. We had a good time.
Yes,
I think
we did.
we knocked out the 3 of these, even though we were making it up as we went along in about 20 minutes.
Yep.
So I think that our viewers will be able to do this with no problem.
Right.
Now, some of the things that I thought made these look especially good were the paper. Now, what kind of paper is this that we're using?
Colored cardstock.
Colored cardstock.
Which honestly, when you walk into a craft store, they have the texturized ones, they have all designs on pieces of paper. So if you were going in and saying, I just want to make my wedding ones or my engagement invitations, you would go down with a white color or texture, whatever you'd want from the craft store that they'd have for you.
Okay,
So.
and even the office supply store, they have a whole aisle of fancy paper now.
Right.
So this was cardstock. What we did was, now I know different people's printers, some people can print on cardstock, some people's printers go when you try to put in heavy paper. So when we did our invitations, we actually did the printing on regular white paper, but we used the cardstock for the pretty part. Okay, so we used cardstock, we used paper, a glue stick. That wasn't hard.
Nope.
We used a paper cutter because we were cutting a lot of things.
Right.
You could use a scissor too, but if you're going to be making, 50 invitations,
Right.
probably a paper cutter is a good idea. Scissors, ruler, And Dana has one other fancy item over there that I never heard of before.
A bone folder.
A bone folder.
It helps you score your pieces of paper. So if you have a line that you'd like to make, you can score the corner of the piece of paper, and that's how you would fold it. You'd then make the fold by putting the bone folder into the area you're trying to fold over, and that's how you do it. But it helps to fold a piece of paper so you're not trying to line it up by yourself and you're not trying to make a score with a pencil, you know what I mean? It's just something that you can score, fold, and have done. But it's a great thing to have if you're making invitations really fast, because it can fold more than one piece at a time.
Well, that's
so if you're making, I would never try to do 50 at a time, you know, but I would maybe try 2 or 3 if you were going quickly, you know. I would cut all the pieces together and have them in a pile just to help yourself go faster.
So now we know what they learn in art school.
Right.
Okay, we're just sitting there folding with our fingers, and you all have a bone folder.
Little tricks.
Of course, I had to laugh when you told me you went to the store to buy one and they had no idea what you were talking about.
Nope. In the craft store, and I was like, do you know where your bone folders are? What?
You had
like,
to
you know, they help fold paper. And she goes, wait, are they pointy? I'm like, yes, they're pointy.
Okay, so she didn't go to the same art school that you go to.
I don't even think she watched any craft show.
Okay, well, I hope that your art teacher, if he's watching this, is all impressed that we're here using a bone folder.
Hopefully.
So we decided we're going to make one of these envelope folds. So what did we have to do first? Tell me about the cardstock, because we measured it out.
Okay, so first we did the yellow.
Okay.
Should we tell them what kind of invitation we're doing first?
Oh yeah, what are we making? Oh sure.
So we're deciding to do a baby shower.
Okay.
And you're basically telling your guests what the gender of your child is going to be, so then they can look through your registry and say, okay, I'm buying for a boy, so let's see what we get. So we
were thinking if the outside was yellow,
no gender is given away.
No gender, but once they open it,
it's going to be blue.
Okay, I guess that's a hint.
So that the blue is going to signify it's a boy. Obviously, we're going to type it's a boy and what it is and all that stuff.
Just in case they were really dense.
Just in case the obvious is not good enough.
Okay.
But we started out making... First, we did the size that we liked visually. So we did 11 by 5.
11 by 5
which,
is
if
the
anybody
outside.
doesn't know, 11 is the height of a regular computer paper.
Oh, okay. So it was already, it was 8.5 by 11.
Right.
So you just made it narrower
So
to
we
5.
just made it narrower to 5.
Okay.
This, then, we wanted a little bit of the yellow to show. So we took off a 1/4 inch on each side.
Terrific.
So it's 11 by, or 10.5
by
4.5.
So if this is our finished one, and that's where we're up to so far.
Right.
Okay. So are you going to do the folds next, or do we do the printing next?
I'm going to do the folds next.
Oh, we get to see that bone folder in action. This is exciting.
So I did do the yellow, then the blue, but I figure we can try them together now.
Oh, you're getting daring here on television.
Yes. So you're basically just going to put your bone folder exactly where you'd like the fold to be. Line it up. And then you pull your bone folder out and crease the edges. What a lot of people don't know is that when you crease your edges, you actually do expand the paper forward.
Really?
Because, as you can see, it like makes a circle when it's not pushed down. So if it's circular, it's only about up to here. When you press it flat, it'll actually come up a little bit further. So it is important that your fold is straight. You know what I mean? Folded and unfolded.
Right,
you know what I mean? Either way, it's straight. We also decided that we wanted to do the top piece is a little bit longer than the bottom.
That envelope fold, you said.
So, again, score your top piece exactly where you'd want it. Pull your bone folder out and press it down. And there's your piece of paper.
Oh, terrific.
Okay, so the next part would be to glue it down.
Okay.
And then you would then print whatever it was that you would like to print in the areas on the invitation.
So I'm going to be printing something for the middle. We're having a little square here. Now, if the yellow was 5 inches and the red was 4.5, this next white one would be just a 4 by 4 square.
Right.
And then we also wanted some graphics for the top and the bottom. Now, I don't know if you've ever looked for graphics on the computer, but I'm just going to come over here to Google. And whatever it is that you're looking for, you can find a picture of it somewhere. If we were looking for strictly baby things, if I typed in even baby shower. Now on regular Google, you're going to see that you get text, different choices. But if I click here on the word images, you're going to see lots and lots of pictures. And depending upon what you're looking for, I'm sure you can find it here. Here's a whole section of just clip art for babies. So even if you were looking for something obscure, if I was going to make lacrosse invitations, because Dana is having a lacrosse party, I would be able to find pictures right here in Google Images and be able to make a lacrosse invitation. But we had decided that since we were announcing that it was going to be a boy,
Right.
that I would look for trains for the bottom. I thought this was so adorable that you made with the carousel, but we're going to look for trains for the bottom and a rocket ship for the top. So over here on Google, I typed in rocket and Google Images, and we have a million different pictures here of rockets. But since I'm aiming for something pointy, I like this one. So I can just print that one. So depending upon your computer, you can often just right-click on it and choose print and print out that rocket there. And, oh, they're going to give me every rocket that's on this page. No, I just want one page of rockets.
You need that many rockets.
We really don't need 15 pages worth of rockets here.
Right.
And then I'm going to do the same for trains. I'll type into Google trains and images. And let's see. I think I saw something cute over here. Here's one. And I'll right click on it and hit print. Why do they keep giving me 20 pages worth of these things? It's hilarious. Okay. And we should be printing. You're all glued down there?
Yep. And we didn't end up gluing the top piece because on that one, remember, we cut so that the little bit showed through, but on this one, we're going to have it go underneath. We're not going to show any blue through.
Oh, because then they'll know it's a boy too
But to
soon.
make it a triangle, we're going to cut that towards the end.
Oh,
so it's a
okay.
lot easier if it's not glued down yet.
So you're going to cut the triangle for the envelope, but not show the little peak of the
Right,
blue.
like that one, not like that one.
Okay. Now, I think I printed for you already the rocket and the
Yes.
train, and now I have this little piece of It's a Boy.
You know, for the people
We
that
are
don't
announcing,
understand
right?
the obvious.
If they didn't get the fact that
Right.
the invitation was
Yes.
blue,
So you're going to print that out.
it
We're
is
going
a
to
boy.
cut it.
Okay, and I'll print one of these too. Okay. Okay. And now we see how did you mark that before you started cutting?
Yes, with the bone folder.
Oh, with the bone folder, of course.
All my papers are always scored before I cut.
Why would I even question? Now, when you say scored, you mean that there's little lines on them?
Yes, without using a pencil mark, you can actually use the sharper edge of the bone folder. It's literally like making a mark on a piece of paper. So you'll so before I printed it out, I literally made marks in the computer paper.
Really?
In order to say, okay, this is where I'm going to cut, this is where I'm going to cut. You know what I mean? You have to make marks instead of always having a pencil handy. Everything is literally in one tool.
Show me how that looks on this one. Don't cut it, just mark it.
So what you would do is if you were doing underneath the RSVP, as close as you'd like to go, you literally just make a little cut right there. So you can see it.
Oh, I see it.
It's big enough for me to see, but if I made a mistake, no one else would see it.
Can you erase it?
No, but it's just almost like an indent.
Oh, okay.
So it's almost like you do it hard enough for you to see, and if I didn't want that anymore,
Oh, yeah, it's kind of gone.
you know what I mean? It's better than, I know some pencils say they have erasers. Sometimes you erase and there's black. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and that's
yeah, I've had that happen.
Even worse when you're printing 50 things at a time. You have to go back and print one more. I mean, it's possible to do, but it's easier to just score a bunch.
Right.
You can score more than one piece.
Oh, if there was
You can
a pile of
double a
them?
piece of paper. I normally do 2 or 3 at a time. If I measure them up, line them up, you can literally score right through to the other page.
Really?
All you need to do is adjust the pressure that you put.
So that was worth buying.
Worth buying.
Okay. I'm
So
afraid to ask how much that cost us.
$5.99.
Okay, not bad.
So now you have to decide how close to the edge you want this. So I think we would go a little closer. Right?
So I should make it bigger?
Oh, no,
or?
not, I mean, I should cut closer.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, so we can see some blue?
Right.
Okay.
But it also depends on the kind of invitation you're going for. You know what I mean? Some people could print on a different color piece than white.
Oh, well, that's true.
You know, if you matched your
we could
blue.
have had like light blue paper.
Right. So it depends all what people do from home and what they want their invitation to look like.
Think of the money you're saving here.
Yes.
And you spend an afternoon making these and you're all set.
Yep.
You've saved hundreds and not to mention you put that computer to good use.
Yes.
It's about time.
Okay, so then you just take that and you glue it down. This is our 4x4 square.
Okay. So it's like a little smaller than 4x4 now.
Yes.
Okay.
But like I said, it depends all what your eye thinks should look like, I guess. Whatever you like as the designer of your own invitation. So you place it nice and neat on your...
Let's see. How are we doing so
Okay.
far? Oh, very nice.
So that's where we're at now.
Okay. And now we had
The top and bottom graphic that you found on
the
Google.
little train and
Right. So those are right here.
those printed out for you there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So we decided to do the rocket, right? Because it was we
Oh,
were going to
and
make
we'll
the
do the
top
rocket
a
at the
point.
top because it's
Right.
pointy.
So, again, you can decide how big or small you or how close you'd like to cut to it. Because
Right.
depending on the color paper, like you said, some people like to use the funky scissors with the edge.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
have those funky scissors at home.
Yes, a lot of people use those depending on what kind of border they're making or how interesting they want that to look. For our purposes, I think
We
we should
even
just
think about the funky scissors with the edges.
yeah.
Now, while you're cutting, I wanted to mention, we were talking about putting a sticker here, and one of the things I picked up at the office supply store were stickers. There was a whole sheet of stickers. We even made little red penguin stickers here, but you can make anything on the sticker. You could put a little picture if it was a save the date with little pictures of people in the circle or a monogram or something like that. So if you were putting a sticker here on the invitation, that would look very pretty. But again, we didn't want to do that because it would have messed up our invitation
Right.
permanently.
And a lot of people do put the child, say it was a baby shower, their initials they put on it.
Oh, okay. Now these were white stickers, but at the store I saw they had
Gold.
gold. They had clear stickers also, so that whatever your design was.
Right. They even have those ones that hold mail pamphlets shut. It's like that small little, almost clear dot that you just place and it glues it.
Okay.
It's just like a glue dot. So if for something like this, we could, if someone from home wanted to keep
Right.
them shut, you could put one of
little
those
dot.
underneath and close it.
Or if you want to get really crazy, if you're at the craft store, don't they still make, now this is old fashioned, but like the wax and the,
Yes.
do they still
They
have
do
that?
still make that. They also make stamps like that too.
Oh,
To
okay.
stamp it shut.
But you could do, well, the stamper wouldn't hold it shut, would it?
I think they have adhesive.
Really?
Yes. I think if you buy a certain type, there is a way to actually stamp it shut.
Look at that. Because if you want to look really fancy with the wax.
Yeah, that's
Of course, we'll be standing here
old-fashioned.
cooling night. I don't know that we should be with a candle burning.
No, I
wax
don't think
here.
so.
All of a sudden, we'll have the fire alarms
don't
going
think-
off on the studio. That would not be a good idea.
Definitely
so
not.
You got that rocket. Oh, well, no wonder I gave you the job of the scissors.
So I decided to cut close,
That's fine.
just because I think it'll look better as a graphic. But like I said, if someone had a different
See,
color
I told you this is
paper,
why I had to have a graphic designer on to help me make invitations.
they have like a star background, some, like paper texture that people
Oh,
could
right.
put. You know what I mean? There's all different kinds of textures people could put.
But you know, if somebody were making, I don't know, 50 of those, they could print 50 on one page, or you know, at least
Yeah.
10 on a page,
Yep.
and just keep printing out lots and lots of rockets, and then just cut them out while they're watching TV.
Right. I mean, even in the texture, in the scrapbook section, they have textured paper. Mm-hmm. They have packs of that. So if you bought a bunch of those packs, you can cut that out to the size you're making your invitation.
That's a good idea. You know, there's so many things out there.
There are so many things out there.
Well, why are people still spending, how much do they spend on
Because
invitations?
it's easy, and they think that this is not.
So, this is easy. This is
right.
fun.
So we're basically here to show everybody how easy it really is to do from home. You know, I
And
mean,
this is
we're
just
doing the
a
most
regular-
simplistic thing.
Exactly.
And I mean, it's for a birthday or it's for a shower. You know, it's something.
But even if it's your wedding, I've seen they sell fancy paper
Right.
just for the wedding now.
Right. I mean, you might take a little bit more time for your wedding.
I'm sure we're not going to
you
make
know,
it in 5
but,
minutes
you
for
know.
the wedding. I'd at least spell check it.
Right. Barbecues, you know, some people go past the idea of invitations. And it's like, I'm always that person that's like, oh, wait, when did she tell me her barbecue was? It's nice to sometimes
Well,
be mailed
if it
something.
looked really pretty, I'd keep it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You know, nowadays everything is email or
Yeah,
a text.
email or text. That's what I'm saying. Someone texts me, oh, I'm having a barbecue this day. Great. And then I delete the text, and I'm like, oh, God.
And then you forget when it is.
When is it? And that's why getting mailed something so simple, it really would help me at least put it on my fridge or, you know.
And you know, it's a funny thing. The more, and I shouldn't be saying this on a show called Technically Speaking, but the more we do technology, I think it's kind of nice to do something.
Right.
Now, today we're using the computer
Right.
to do a cut and paste, but I think there's something nice about an actual invitation.
Yeah.
I mean, with actual pictures. You know, that somebody took the time. If I saw this, I'd think, wow, they really took the time.
Right.
And I probably don't have pictures of this particular couple, so that would be nice to have pictures of these people.
But yeah, it's definitely something great to have. I feel like people don't do it enough, which is why I think they don't understand that they can do it from home. You know, and that's where a lot of industries make a lot of money because they make, oh, send me whatever you want, we'll make it into this.
Right.
You
But
know,
all these things
it
are
doesn't show
available.
that they're doing the work that
Right.
you could be doing, you know. So it's something that I think people overlook. You know what I mean? We've picked up a few things.
You
and
picked
we're
up a
making,
couple of things of paper, and here on Google search, I could find a picture of anything in the world.
Right.
If you suddenly told me that we wanted a barbecue, I could type in a barbecue here and get whatever little art things. I can have our little dancing hot dog.
Right.
Look at that. On
But
a red
it's true.
invitation.
I mean, this amount of supplies, we have so much extra paper, we have all this
We
extra
could
stuff.
open a business.
Seriously.
If anybody needs a barbecue invitation,
Yeah.
we're your people.
Yep.
So how are we doing there?
Okay, so just cut out the train,
Okay.
and that's going to go on our bottom for our graphic. And again, just little things to show that it's a boys'
So tell me, is this
party.
what you learn in art school?
No.
No, they make you do worse, don't they?
They make me do projects that aren't this fun. You know?
see? I'm so
They-
educated.
I mean, I learn little things here and there that help me do crafts like this.
like that tool.
But these are everyday things, you know what I mean?
Right.
This kind of stuff is things you would be able to do from home. You definitely don't need to go to
don't
art
need to
school
go to art
to make
school.
things look good, you know what I mean?
Let's see how we're looking.
Okay, so then you would paste this in.
Oh, adorable.
Some people use hot glue, you could use any kind of glue
Right.
that you want to use. We're just using this
Now,
glue.
are you going to make this pointy like you did on this
Yes.
envelope one?
So now that we make sure how much this closes, you can determine, because obviously some people are going to like how it overlaps a little, a lot more, however
Right,
you choose.
okay.
You don't want to cut this to the point where you can see the inside of the invitation.
That's true.
So what you'd have to do
I
is
bet you're going
look.
to score it with that tool.
Yes. So you're going to look basically how much overlap you have. And here we have about 3/4 of an inch.
Okay.
So we'd probably do about 1/2 an inch just to make it a triangle.
Okay.
So again, you'd measure it out and then score it, rather than having pencil marks all over your
yeah.
invitation, which is another reason why people should get a bone folder.
And before today, I never even knew one existed.
I know, a lot of people don't. But it is something great to have. So you score that on both sides. 1/2 inch on both sides. And then you also have to measure how big it is. So we went 5 width, which would be 2.5 is the middle.
Okay.
So you'd have to, because you're going from the middle out
Right. Oh, to make it pointy.
to make it pointy.
Okay.
Because if it's wrong, then you have
If
to
it's
make
wrong,
it all
it's
over.
back to the drawing board.
Back to the drawing board. So obviously you would just make a little dot at 2.5. grab your scissor and you just make the scores meet. You do it again for the other side. And here we don't have the blue showing.
Oh, because it's a surprise.
Right. You don't want anybody knowing the gender.
Okay.
And then
until they open it up. Now,
Until
it's
they
funny, you
open it
told
up.
me this would be called a gender party or a
Right.
gender announcement.
Right.
Very, very cute. Let me see. So we have an envelope fold coming to a point, and we open it up, and lovely. Absolutely terrific. So for our pictures, we simply did a search
Google
on
search.
Google
Yep.
Images. For our text in the middle, now I used an art program here, but you could use Microsoft
yeah.
Word, you could use any word processing program. I just used this one so that I could change the font, the color, but pretty
And
much
you'd be able to put more than one on a page. You know,
Right.
we printed one
We
4x4,
printed
you know
one.
what I mean?
But we could certainly have printed
A few more.
and
Right.
then cut them out so we're not wasting so much paper.
Right.
For the white paper, we used white paper.
Yep, but you could use any.
You could use any paper. For a printer, now this is the printer that was in my house,
Right.
but quite frankly, it's, you know, your basic $80 printer.
Right.
It's really nothing special. I didn't want to print, I had mentioned to you, I didn't want to print on the cardstock.
Right.
Just because I know my printer gets a little temperamental with things like that. I wanted just nice, easy feed paper. But we used the cardstock for the rest of the invitation. So it was kind of the best of both worlds.
Right.
We didn't have to feed that difficult paper through the printer.
Right.
And besides that, it was a glue stick, a scissor. So when are you opening up a business?
No way.
No way. Don't
This
want
is to teach everybody to do it from home.
so that they can do it themselves.
Yes.
And this way they don't even have to call you.
Right.
Now, I know when you're at school, you do a lot of event planning types of things. I guess are invitations among the event plans?
Yes. And that's honestly when you let someone else take that from your hands and say, okay, I want invitations for this, they will get the most expensive piece of paper that
Oh, I'm sure.
you don't need, you know, and you can find something for a cheaper price or you can do it yourself. You know what I mean? You never know if you say do it yourself. You never know what they're giving you.
So when you hire out a graphic designer, of course they're going to run up the costs.
Because the thing is, there's all different kinds of paper that you need to order specially or, you know, print on a special printer. You know
Well,
what I
even
mean?
the size of the paper. We
Yeah.
just bought regular paper
8.5
and you
by
just
11.
cut it to size.
Right.
We didn't have to order it
No,
to size.
right.
You just cut it to size.
And again, they're paying people to cut it for them when you have a paper cutter, you know what I mean?
Or a scissor.
Or a box cutter or whatever else you may have around your house that can cut paper. You know, so it's just doing little things that can save you money.
And
you
a
know?
great way to put that computer to good use
Yep.
besides checking email.
Yes.
Okay, so this is not too hard. With any program on your computer that you can type on, so whether it's Word or a picture program or something, and then find some graphics, get some nice paper, put it all together, and you two can have beautiful invitations to your next party. Well, thank you for joining us,
Thank you for having
and
me.
thank you for inspiring us.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.